Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, illuminating your path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Lunaria Celine, your intuitive guide. We bridge celestial wisdom, unlock your modern path,
Discover guiding starlight insights.
explore powerful cosmic energies. How do planetary transits shape your story today?
And today, well, we're diving deep, really deep. We're exploring a very specific and incredibly potent cosmic blueprint.
We are. Our source material for this deep dive is quite fascinating. It's called The Velvet Judge and Shadow Alchemist 2025 Odyssey.
Right. And like you said, this isn't just a general forecast, is it?
Not at all. This is custom tailored, as we promised. We're really zeroing in on one unique astrological profile, the Libra Sun with Scorpio Rising.
Okay.
So if this is your cosmic signature, then yeah, this exploration, it's speaking directly to you. We're illuminating the specific path the source lays out for 2025.
That's what makes this different, I think. We're not just looking at transits, sort of in a vacuum. We're looking at how they interact with your core celestial DNA. And the source defines that with two really powerful archetypes. First, there's the Libra Sun energy, your core self.
The harmonizing architect.
Harmonizing architect, that's your fundamental drive, right?
Right. The architect, seeks balance, justice, beauty, that relational equilibrium. It's that core need for things to be fair and symmetrical in the world and in your connections, too.
That classic Libra feel. But for you, there's this other powerful layer, your Scorpio Rising, which the source calls the Obsidian Inquisitor.
Ooh, yes, the Obsidian Inquisitor. And that's about how the world perceives you, how you kind of come across. Well, it's this magnetic intensity, a pull towards psychological depth, and sometimes a really potent, almost volcanic power to uncover what's hidden, to get to the truth beneath the surface.
Okay, so not just seeing the surface level.
No. The Inquisitor penetrates. They're drawn to secrets, transformation, the raw, sometimes pretty uncomfortable truth of things.
And the source says when these two energies, the harmonizing architect and the Obsidian Inquisitor, when they come together in you, something extraordinary happens.
It does. It creates the synthesis. It gives birth to the Velvet Judge.
The Velvet Judge. I love that name.
Me too. And this is where your Libran grace isn't just, sitting next to scorpionic steel. It's armored by it.
Oh, okay.
So diplomacy, it gets transformed into something more like tactical warfare. That search for harmony becomes a kind of sacred reckoning. Your charm, your natural Libran charm, becomes a way to deliver soul-piercing revelation.
Wow. The source has this incredible line, doesn't it? Your smile disarms, your silence terrifies.
Yes, that captures it perfectly. It's not just having both qualities side by side. It's how they're integrated, how they're wielded.
So you might approach things with that easy Libran style.
That accessible veneer.
But underneath, there's this undeniable intensity, this power to dissect, to judge truth, always lurking.
It's a constant interplay, really. The architect inside, knows the ideal blueprint for fairness, right?
Oh.
But the Inquisitor, that part has the will and the power to dismantle the false stuff that stops that ideal from happening. This blend, according to the source, that's your unique strength.
And 2025, the source is saying this is a huge year for this specific Velvet Judge energy. It gets profoundly activated.
Yeah, it talks about igniting your cardinal axis, that core foundation of your chart where your Libra Sun sits.
So a fundamental activation.
Exactly. This is the year where, and I'm quoting here, Libra's scales meet Scorpio's abyss in cosmic trial.
Wow. Okay, cosmic trial sounds intense. Less like gentle balancing, more like a crucible, maybe?
That's a good way to put it. Definitely a crucible. So let's unpack how the key planetary movements the source highlights are interacting with your specific blueprint in 2025.
Okay, where do we start? Saturn.
Let's start with Saturn. The source points first to its journey through Pisces. And for your chart, Libra Sun, Scorpio Rising that lands right in your 7th house.
7th house, partnerships, significant relationships, contracts.
Precisely.
Okay, so Saturn brings structure, boundaries, lessons, reality checks. But in Pisces, which is so fluid, intuitive, maybe even illusory, in the house of relationships, that sounds complicated.
It is, absolutely. And the source captures this tension perfectly. It uses the concept karmic gravity versus quantum fluidity.
Okay, break that down. Karmic gravity.
Think of Saturn as the gravitational force. It demands reality, form, structure, especially within the often nebulous, emotional, watery landscape of Piscean connections.
And quantum fluidity is the Pisces part, the possibilities, the lack of clear edges.
Exactly. So what does this cosmic tug of war actually mean for you and your relationships in 2025?
Well, it sounds like relationships are really getting tested. Like, are they built on solid ground or just
That's it,
myths?
exactly. The source describes the effect this way. Quantum decoherence shatters illusionary alliances.
Quantum decoherence. So possibilities that aren't real fall apart.
Pretty much. Think of it like this. If your partnerships, or maybe even social contracts, are based on wishful thinking, maybe unclear boundaries, or things left unsaid, that Piscean tendency, Saturn's gravity just pulls them apart. They lose their coherence. They can't hold together anymore.
So relationships built on fantasy or illusion might just dissolve
Yeah.
or show their weaknesses.
Yes, reveal their lack of real substance. But here's the other side of it. The source says the same gravitational pull. It forges soul-level contracts.
Ah, okay, so it strengthens the real stuff.
Precisely. Connections that have true depth, real authenticity, maybe even that feeling of shared destiny, they get solidified. They become almost unbreakable under the Saturn pressure. It's really about sorting the fleeting from the foundational.
That's powerful. The same energy dissolving the false also strengthens the true. And the source gives a practical tool for this, right? A somatic anchor for navigating the tension this might bring up.
It does, and it ties right into your body, into physical sensation. It says if you notice tension building up in your jaw during, say, a difficult conversation or negotiation.
Which can definitely happen with seventh house stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The practice is to gently press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, your palate. And as you do that, you silently repeat the mantra. My words are velvet-wrapped obsidian.
Velvet-wrapped obsidian. Connecting the physical feeling to that core velvet judge idea.
Exactly. The diplomacy, the grace of Libra, that's the velvet. Backed by the unyielding truth, the power of Scorpio, that's the obsidian.
So it's about speaking your truth firmly, but maybe with strategic grace. Not just blurting it out, but not holding back either.
It's a reminder that your power isn't just softness or just hardness, but how you consciously combine them. Okay, now let's shift gears to another major player the source highlights. Pluto, moving into Aquarius.
Right. Pluto in Aquarius. And for this profile, that's hitting the 11th house.
Yes. The house of collectives, groups, friends, networks, your hopes and dreams for the future. Your place in the wider community.
Okay, Pluto. Planet of transformation, death, rebirth, power, hitting truths. In a house of groups and future visions, that sounds like major revolutionary energy hitting your social world. Like, big time.
The source uses a really evocative term for this specific interaction. It calls it revolutionary tunneling.
Revolutionary tunneling, like digging connections underground.
Kind of. Imagine Pluto's intense transformative energy carving these new pathways, maybe unseen at first. For you, the source says it's quantum entangling you with radical movements.
Whoa. Quantum entanglement.
I know, right? It sounds almost destined, like you'll find yourself drawn into these groups or causes, or they'll somehow find you. And this doesn't just mean politics, though it certainly could. It means movements or groups pushing for significant, maybe unconventional change in areas you deeply care about.
And there are physical sensations tied to this too, the source mentions. Field downloads of static in fingertips plus solar plexus heat.
Yeah, it really speaks to the energetic nature of this shift. It's suggesting that insights, ideas, connections within these collective spaces might not just arrive intellectually, you might feel them. Like a buzz of energy, actual static, or that heat in your gut, your solar plexus, your intuitive center.
That's vivid, like receiving information energetically, not just logically. Is there a practice for this one too? An embodiment practice?
There is. It's about grounding that potentially explosive revolutionary impulse. The source suggests placing a fist over your heart during moments of collective action, or even just when you're thinking about your role in a group that's trying to create change.
Okay, fist over the heart.
And the mantra is, my balance fuels the revolution.
Ah, I like that. It brings the Libra Sun right back into it. It's not just about blowing things up for the sake of it.
Exactly.
It's about change rooted in your core need for balance, for justice. You're bringing equilibrium to the revolution, in a way.
It reinforces the unique gift of the velvet judge within collective movements. Okay, now, there's one more really specific, super powerful event the source flags as a potential major turning point in 2025 for you.
What's that?
The Scorpio solar eclipse on March 29th, happening right in your first house.
Oh, wow. An eclipse on your ascendant. In Scorpio. That feels incredibly personal and intense. Solar eclipses usually mean sudden new beginnings, endings, identity shifts.
You got it. And the source doesn't mince words. It calls this a black hole revelation, leading to, and this is intense, identity, annihilation, rebirth.
Annihilation and rebirth. Whoa, like a total reset of self.
That's the idea. Imagine a black hole pulling everything in, collapsing the old structure. This eclipse is doing that to your sense of self, your persona, how you show up. And it's amplified by that deep, transformative Scorpio energy.
The source uses some striking imagery here. Libra's mask incinerated by Scorpio's truth laser.
Powerful, isn't it? It suggests that the carefully constructed Libran facade, the part of you focused on harmony and pleasing others, might just get burned away by this intense, scorpionic demand for raw, absolute truth.
Leaving only the core Scorpio Rising energy.
Or perhaps forcing an integration on a much deeper level. It's a moment of reckoning. Those subtle compromises Libra sometimes makes for external peace. They get challenged by Scorpio's demand for authenticity, no matter what. This eclipse really forces you to confront what's fundamentally true about you, whether it's comfortable or agreeable or not.
And there's a journal prompt for this too, right? A really pointed one.
Yes, and it cuts right to the heart of the Velvet Judge's core challenge. What polite lie about myself must die to unleash authentic power?
Polite lie. That just nails it. That Libran tendency to smooth things over, maybe even lie to yourself a little to keep the peace or avoid conflict.
What internal stories are you telling yourself, just to be agreeable? Stories your Scorpio rising knows are holding back your real power.
That's a tough mirror to hold up. A really challenging question.
It takes courage to answer honestly, but the source suggests that answering it is absolutely key to the rebirth part of the eclipse. Stepping into your full power means shedding whatever isn't truly authentic.
Okay, so that gives us the core energies and the key transits. The source also provides some context, right? Historical figures who kind of embody this energy.
It does. It talks about the architect inquisitors, finding echoes of this Libra Sun Scorpio rising blend in history.
Like who?
Well, think about Mahatma Gandhi. His Libra Sun definitely drove that pursuit of justice, of harmonious coexistence, the ultimate architect of a peaceful nation.
All right, it's a big vision.
But it was his scorpionic resolve, that unwavering intensity, that allowed him to, as the source puts it, weaponize harmonious resistance to dismantle empires.
Passive resistance as a weapon. Tactical harmony. That's pure Velvet Judge. Diplomacy fueled by an iron will.
Exactly. And another example given is Oscar Wilde.
Okay, interesting.
You know, famous for his Libran aesthetic brilliance, the wit, the artistry. But underneath all that, a really powerful Scorpio shadow. A deep understanding of hypocrisy in society, and a willingness to expose it, often through his art. The source says he exposed societal hypocrisy through velvet-coated wit.
So the charm, the elegance, wasn't just for show. It was the delivery system for sharp, uncomfortable truths.
Precisely. And the source sums up the legacy of these kinds of figures by saying, true justice requires both the gavel and the dagger.
The gavel for Libra's principles, the law, the ideal of fairness.
And the dagger for Scorpio's force, the ability to cut through illusion, to enforce truth, sometimes ruthlessly in pursuit of real justice.
You need the ideal and the power to make it real. Even when it's hard.
You do. And the source offers some brilliant cultural comparisons too, metaphors to help grasp this archetype. They're really vivid. It says the energy is like having Atticus Finch's diplomacy, Libra, meets Oma Little's tactical vengeance, Scorpio.
Oh, from To Kill a Mockingbird and The Wire. That's a combination.
Isn't it? And then it adds, it's like being a sniper in a tailored suit.
Okay, that paints a picture. The quiet integrity and reason of Atticus, but combined with Omar's strategic precision, his code, his willingness to strike from the shadows when necessary.
It's that blend of apparent calm, maybe even elegance, with this formidable, calculated power underneath. You wouldn't necessarily see the Scorpio coming beneath the polished Libra exterior.
The source gives another literary example too, right? Dorian Gray's aesthetic allure, X, Count of Monte Cristo's calculated retribution.
Yes, that external focus on beauty, presentation, allure, paired with that deep, patient, intensely focused drive for justice, or maybe vengeance operating from the shadows. Again, it's that potent mix.
It even suggests a soundtrack.
It does. Leonard Cohen's You Want It Darker and Hosier's Eat Your Young both have that deep, questioning intensity, exploring power, darkness, judgment. Themes very relevant here.
Perfect. And a contemporary parallel.
Anthony Bridgerton from Bridgerton, wielding Libran's social grace with scorpionic intensity. He navigates society with charm, but operates with this passionate, sometimes obsessive depth, and often hides a lot of pain or intensity.
Okay, these examples really help ground this complex energy. And the source doesn't just describe it, it gives practical ways you can actually engage with these forces in 2025. Interactive elements, rituals.
Absolutely. It wants you to embody this energy. Let's talk about the scales and stiletto breath embodiment exercise.
Scales and stiletto. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's a simple but pretty powerful practice to integrate the two energies. So on the inhale, you embody Libra. You spread your arms wide, palms up, really taking in that energy of balance. The mantra is, I harmonize. Feel your heart space expand.
Oh, okay, opening up, taking in equilibrium.
Then on the exhale, you shift into Scorpio. You thrust your right fist forward, kind of powerfully, while your left hand guards your solar plexus. You're channeling power downwards. And the mantra is, I transmute.
I harmonize on the inhale, I transmute on the exhale, grounding and directing that scorpionic intensity.
Exactly. And the source suggests doing this maybe 5 times before you walk into a confrontation or a difficult negotiation. It's about centering yourself in that balance, but consciously accessing your transformative power before you need it.
Preparation. Good idea. And for that really intense Scorpio eclipse on March 29th, there's a specific ritual.
Yes, a ritual blueprint designed to work directly with that identity, annihilation, rebirth energy we talked about. You'll need a few things: a black candle, a silver mirror, and a rose thorn.
Okay, those materials definitely sound symbolic. Black candle for darkness secrets, silver mirror for reflection, rose thorn for painful truth.
Precisely. The ritual itself involves lighting the black candle in front of the silver mirror. Then you whisper those polite lies, those false identities you're ready to let go of, directly to your reflection in the mirror.
Wow, confronting them directly.
Then you take the rose thorn, representing that sharp, necessary truth, and you pierce it into the candle wax. As you do, you state clearly, my shadows arm my truth.
My shadows arm my truth. Acknowledging the power in what's hidden.
Yes. And finally, you blow out the candle, ideally around midnight, consciously releasing those old identities into the darkness.
That sounds incredibly cathartic, like physically embedding the death of the old self. The source mentions timing this with the eclipse totality.
Yeah, it specifies 3:07 p.m. EDT on March 29th for maximum alignment, but really, working with this energy throughout the eclipse period would be powerful.
And tied to this, that journal prompt comes up again, doesn't it?
It does. The source really emphasizes it. Where does my Libran fairness become cowardice? What buried power would emerge if I embraced righteous ruthlessness?
It keeps circling back to that core tension. Is the drive for harmony sometimes a shield? A way to avoid using necessary power, even if it's disruptive?
It's about finding the courage to access that obsidian inquisitor when the situation genuinely calls for it, not just defaulting to Libra's comfort zone.
Okay, so after defining the energy, the transits, the practices, the source looks ahead. It outlines potential paths for 2025.
Yes, exactly. It presents 3 potential timelines or probable paths that could manifest for you based on how these energies play out. Think of them not as fixed destinies, but as strong potentials you might recognize or even consciously choose to align with.
3 distinct ways the year could unfold. Let's hear them.
Okay. Timeline 1 is called the Revolutionary Arbitrator. This one is strongly influenced by that Pluto in your 11th house transit.
The collective revolutionary energy.
Right. And the trigger for this path, the source suggests, is often something like exposing corruption within justice-earned institutions.
So, using that velvet judge, power the blend of charm and precision to bring hidden truths to light in systems related to Libra themes like law, fairness, art, culture.
Exactly. The manifestation could look like creating something called the Velvet Inquisition. Maybe it's a podcast, a blog, a platform, some project that uses Scorpio's forensic precision plus Libra's disarming charm for elegant takedowns of powerful predators.
Wow. Dismantling corruption with style and substance.
It's about using carefully delivered truth, undeniable evidence, presented with a certain grace rather than just brute force. That sniper in a tailored suit operating publicly.
Fascinating. Okay, what's timeline 2?
Timeline 2 is the Relational Alchemist. This one is strongly linked to Saturn doing its work in your 7th house of partnerships.
Okay, the relationship focus.
Yes. And the trigger here is described as transforming toxic partnership into power alliance.
So not just ending difficult relationships, but actually finding a way to fundamentally change the dynamic, turning lead into gold, relationship-wise.
That's the idea. Or using the experience of a difficult dynamic to force something incredibly strong elsewhere. The manifestation could be something like co-founding a venture, maybe a consultancy called Shadow and Scale, focused on, say, conflict resolution for corporate rebels, or navigating really complex power dynamics in business or even personal life.
The alchemy is turning difficulty into strength.
Exactly. The source says it's about turning betrayal into unbreakable loyalty pacts. Maybe not even with the original person, but using that intense experience to forge fiercely loyal, authentic bonds based on shared understanding and truth.
That's a deep transformation. Powerful potential. And the third timeline.
Timeline 3 is the eclipse metamorphosis. This is tied directly to that major identity shift initiated by the March 29th Scorpio solar eclipse in your first house.
The identity annihilation rebirth.
Right. The source suggests a potential trigger for this path could be something like a public scandal reinvention as ethical provocateur.
Oof. So a challenging public event forces a total reinvention.
Yeah. Potentially. Being challenged publicly, maybe around issues of authenticity or fairness, forces you to shed an old identity completely and step fully into the raw, truthful power of the Obsidian Inquisitor. But, and this is key, channeled ethically.
So using that scorpionic intensity for good, essentially.
Yes. The manifestation might be something like writing a powerful memoir, maybe called From Charm to Reckoning, that ends up sparking a wider global accountability movement. It's stepping into a role where you provoke necessary, maybe uncomfortable, conversations about truth, consequence, and integrity.
This timeline seems to carry the biggest warning or challenge mentioned, balancing vengeance with wisdom.
Absolutely. That Scorpio eclipse energy is intense. It could fuel a desire for retribution, especially if triggered by a public challenge. The real work on this path is channeling that raw power into sacred justice, guided by Libra's innate wisdom about true balance, not letting it curdle into destructive vengeance.
Okay, 3 very distinct, powerful potentials. And the source offers a mantra for 2025, right?
Yeah.
To kind of encapsulate the whole invitation for the Velvet Judge.
It does. It pulls all these threads together beautifully. I harmonize with velvet gloves and obsidian fists. My diplomacy is warfare. My silence is verdict. Where darkness reigns, I am the reckoning.
My silence is verdict?
Oh.
Wow. That really speaks to the power of the Obsidian Inquisitor working through the Libran form, doesn't it? That quiet intensity.
It does. And the core invitation for the year, the source states it simply but profoundly. Arm your balance, Velvet Judge.
Arm your balance. Not just seek balance, but give it teeth.
Exactly. It's a call to action. 2025 is demanding that you consciously plunge Libra's scales into Scorpio's abyss. This isn't about losing your Libra nature at all. It's about integrating it fully with your Scorpionic depth.
Letting the harmonizing architect actually design that equitable beauty.
While allowing the Obsidian Inquisitor the courage and the power to execute sacred justice, letting them work together.
It's about allowing both sides of your cosmic coin to operate fully for a really potent, transformative purpose. And that final statement from the source.
This is your year to prove that true harmony is forged in the fires of unflinching truth. The scales and the dagger.
Powerful. And there were those poetic lines at the end, too.
Yes, they really capture the essence for you in 2025. Libra seeks the symmetry in human designs. Scorpio knows what venom truth refines. You, Grand Inquisitor in gilded disguise, turn polite lies to funeral pyres. Turn polite lies to funeral pyres. For justice served with aesthetic fire, turn polite lies to funeral pyres, is how new worlds conspire.
Justice served with aesthetic fire.
Oh.
What a phrase. Beauty and truth, elegance and intensity working together in this fiery, world-changing way. And there was one last practical idea, wasn't there? The cultural ritual metaphor.
Oh, right. Hosting gilded inquisitions, like formal dinners.
Taking a cue from Bridgerton, maybe?
Perhaps. The idea is, at these gatherings, whether real or metaphorical, guests could anonymously write down societal lies or hypocrisies on parchment, maybe burn them in a silver bowl or brazier.
Getting rid of the polite lies.
Exactly. And then engage in these elegant, maybe intense debates about how to create elegant revolutions or achieve real justice, perhaps over drinks. It's a sophisticated, very Velvet Judge way to engage with the themes of truth, exposure, and building more authentic kind of social harmony.
That's a fantastic, really creative way to embody the energy.
Yeah. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into the Velvet Judge and Shadow Alchemist, 2025 Odyssey, focusing specifically on you, the Libra Sun Scorpio Rising profile. Let's just pause on that core tension.
The push and pull.
Right. Between Libra's deep need for harmony, fairness, peace, and Scorpio's equally deep need for raw truth, radical scrutiny, and sometimes wielding profound power to make transformation happen.
And it feels like 2025 isn't just asking you to find the balance between those two.
No.
It's asking you to arm that balance.
Yeah.
To let the elegance of Libra be backed by the maybe uncomfortable, piercing depth of Scorpio.
Yeah.
Recognizing that real harmony might actually require some disruption first.
Beautifully put, exactly. So for you, listening right now, here's that provocative thought the source leaves us with, something to really mull over. How can consciously embracing the uncomfortable, the scrutinizing, maybe even the strategically ruthless aspects of your obsidian inquisitor energy, the part willing to face and expose hard truths, how can embracing that actually serve to strengthen and purify your deeper labyrinth pursuit of genuine balance and authentic harmony in your life, in your interactions?
Is being willing to be that sniper in a tailored suit, or to wield the dagger of truth when necessary? Is that the actual path to achieving a harmony that's not just surface level, but real, forged in that fire of unflinching truth?
Something powerful to consider as you navigate 2025.
Definitely.
Indeed.
As our cosmic journey concludes, dive deeper into your unique path. Request your email audio reading now. Find the link in the description below. Explore episode resources and links.
All details are waiting for you there. Ignite, think, become. Subscribe for Starlight Insights. Thank you for joining us.